Right now on Chris 6 Sunrise, a construction zone at the Packery Channel Nature Park. Now this multi-million-dollar project is expected to help bring a better experience to visitors.
Plus, Corpus Christi ISD is announcing its new Board of Trustees vice president, who they're choosing for the job ahead of the upcoming school year.
And a college program is helping save lives. Look at the partnership to help provide high school students with hands-on experience in the medical field. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great one because you're waking up with the Hoffmans today. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. You're also waking up with meteorologist Stephen Jones. He's in with a look at our roadways and our forecast. Good morning.
Morning, brother.
Well, good Tuesday morning, you guys. You know, we're starting to dial back the rain chances finally, and that sunshine's going to come back out. The heat and humidity, it's going to be feeling like summer as we're heading into this week. We're not an official astronomical summer, but we are already into meteorological summer, so hey, we'll take it. As we're looking at our downtown sky cam right here from the studio, you can see plenty of cloud cover overhead. That's helping to keep us pretty nice and warm this morning. 80 degrees on the money here in Corpus Christi, but luckily with all of that mugginess out there, not seeing too much of that rain develop thus far. Could see an isolated shower along the sea breeze later today, but most of us definitely going to be staying dry for our Tuesday. Temperature-wise, 78 degrees out there in Alice, 81 once you work your way towards the Naval Air Station. The hot spot, though, Port Aransas and Rockport both sitting at 82 degrees so far this Tuesday morning. Through the rest of our day, though, we're all going to be on the warm-up. That sunshine returning to the skies by 11 a.m. and into the afternoon, chasing those upper 80s here in Corpus Christi. I'm calling about 90 over by the International Airport for our daytime high. Wind-wise, out of the southeast, 10 to 15 miles an hour. Could see that gusts upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour. Daytime highs likely to round out in those upper 80s and lower 90s once again. And like we talked about, just going to hold on to the very unlikely isolated chance of a sea breeze shower until those rain chances finally start to rise as we're heading into the weekend. But let's get you ready for your Tuesday morning as you're getting ready for that commute to work. So far, so good on the traffic flow map. If you're hitting the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland, looking at no issues so far for our Tuesday morning. If you're heading along 160 or 361 or 181 this morning, not looking at any issues between Taft or Gregory or even into Ingleside, so looking good up there into San Patricio County. For our major thoroughfares here in Corpus Christi, Ocean Drive, SPID, and Saratoga, luckily all coming in the clear, which means one more detour inland. Good morning to neighbors out there in Beeville. So far, so good also on your traffic flow map. So a pretty good and green Tuesday morning across the board. Of course, we've got those rain chances on the rise. We'll chat a little bit more about it coming up in our full 7-day forecast.
Stephen, thank you. Fight leading to the death of a man is under investigation this morning. Corpus Christi police say that a man with injuries was found on Valdez Drive. He directed officers to a nearby home on Blooming Street to find another man involved.
A second man there was given medical aid. He was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries. Investigators say the two men knew each other. Now, folks, there's no City Council meeting for Corpus Christi today. At this time, City Council is expected to meet next on June 23rd. That's still 2 weeks away. And this comes after the delay of the Inner Harbor desalination vote, which will happen in September.
So it has been a while since I've been down to Bob Hall Pier. In fact, I haven't been there since it first opened. So I decided to take the old drone out and get some beauty shots. There I am posing for the camera. It looks pretty gorgeous out there, right? It's still under construction with the main building being gutted right now, and neighbors may soon see a separate building on the other side of that entranceway. Something that will answer the question many have right now, including our producer Alicia. When will they start charging to go on the pier? Well, County Commissioner Brent Chesney tells me that they're not charging right now, but as soon as that new building is installed, which could be as soon as next week, they will start charging $3 to walk on, $4 to fish, but hey, it's only $1 for veterans.
I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Jacob Daniels, and right now, this boardwalk is a construction zone. But by fall, Packery Channel Nature Park is going to have a lot more to offer.
Nueces County is expanding Packery Channel Nature Park, adding on to the existing boardwalk with a $3.4 million project. The expansion will add 5 shade pavilions and 6 information kiosks. And for some nearby neighbors, the expansion means more people will get to experience what they've enjoyed for years.
Giving people more access to the birding down here is fantastic. The birding with this pond, with the Audubon stuff is fantastic, but you see a lot more of the smaller birds over in that area. So giving people more access to that, I think, would be really nice.
And Packery Channel is a noted stop on the Great Texas Coastal Birding Trail, and the expansion is designed to give more people access to that experience, and construction is on track with the county targeting completion this fall.
For those looking to cool down this summer, swimming pools over in George West are expected to open this afternoon. They'll be open Tuesday through Sunday from 2 to 9.
High schoolers are trading in their summer for a little bit of extra education. CCISD students are taking part in the nursing summer camp. Teens are getting hands-on experience in the medical field. They are practicing on high-tech patient simulators. They're also using virtual reality to learn about the human body. Organizers hope the camp inspires the next generation of healthcare workers.
We need more nurses. Nurses have a shortage around the United States, in fact, the world. And to see so many young people excited about learning is very refreshing.
Now, this is, in fact, the second year for the camp.
The Corpus Christi ISD Board of Trustees has a new vice president. During Monday's meeting, trustees chose Eric Villarreal to fill a vacant officer position. Villarreal represents District 1 and was first elected to the board in November 2022. He also works as a client service manager for an engineering and consulting firm. The next regularly scheduled board meeting will happen at 5 o'clock on Monday, July 27th.
More employers are using AI during the first stage of hiring. And before your application ever gets to a human, it might need to pass that round of AI, be approved by our robot overlords, right? Well, experts with Indeed say job seekers should also be using the technology for keywording, but to keep you from getting lost in a flood of cut and paste AI applications, remember this.
In this world of everyone using AI to optimize their resume and cover letter, we're losing some of that individuality and that uniqueness, and you want to make sure you're highlighting that.
And while AI tools make it easier for you to mass apply to lots of different openings, experts say you can have more success by being targeted and applying only to positions that truly make sense for your skills and your experiences.
Speaking of AI, Apple unveiled a new version of Siri. The update for the 15-year-old digital helper comes as Apple aims to keep pace with competing helpers, including ChatGPT and Gemini. The new version, rebranded as Siri AI, is available on all devices in a standalone app. Apple also announced upgrades for its iPhone, Mac, and iPad, alongside new child safety features. President Trump is urging Iran and Israel to hold their fire after the two countries traded missile strikes.
Yeah, right. Well, coming up, Scripps News Group's Jay Gray has the latest on this conflict.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Welcome back, folks. It's now 6:11 on your Tuesday, and we're hoping that it's a good one.
Yeah, we got to check in on the weather with our good friend, meteorologist Stephen Jones. How you doing, sir?
Well, good Tuesday morning, you guys. Doing pretty well today. We're waking up nice and warm, so not even needing the jacket as we're heading out for our Tuesday morning. The unfortunate side of it is, as we head into the afternoon, going to be feeling more like those upper 90s and getting very toasty out there for our Tuesday. We were still fairly cool for our Monday. 88 degrees is where we ended up topping out at on that almanac data, and the record 98 from 2019. Don't think there was any complaints that we stopped 10 degrees shy of that. Rainfall-wise, didn't pick up anything at the International Airport yesterday, but we're still sitting with a 2-inch surplus for 2026, so not complaining there, but still hoping to see that number increase as we head through the next few days. On a view from our Sunset Island cam, courtesy of Matthews CCAC, 81 degrees here by the Laguna Madre. Winds out of the southeast 10 miles an hour, and definitely some early boaters heading out there right before the sunrise. Temperature-wise, shaping up in the 70s and 80s. 78 right now in Mathis, 79 that temperature for Alice and Robstown so far. The warm spot though going to be Ingleside, Rockport, and Port Aransas, all sitting at about 82 degrees so far this morning. For our dog walking forecast today, we've got Stella Patterson as our star of the day. She's from Aransas County and says her favorite place to take a walk is along the beaches. Looks like she's having a good Tuesday morning too, as after the Spurs win last night, of course. As we're heading out there for Stella's walk though, 85 degrees by 10 a.m. up to 88 as we're heading in towards that lunchtime hour, and a little breezy, about 10 to 15 miles miles an hour this morning out of the southeast. Going to increase that to about 20 to 25 miles an hour as we're heading later into this afternoon. As we're going through the future tracker today, could see just 1 or 2 stray showers try to develop along the sea breeze. I think the majority of us definitely going to be staying dry for our Tuesday and just dealing with that heat and humidity this afternoon. Right back to the 90s for our daytime highs, with those 80s along the coast, of course, but like we talked about, going to be feeling even warmer than that when you take into account the humidity. And with that moisture in the air, going to lead to more cloud cover as we head into the overnight time frame. Those 70s and 80s once again as we're heading into our Wednesday morning before it clears up into the afternoon. Still dealing with that very stray chance of a sea breeze shower or two, but overall the trend is going to be the heat and humidity returning as we go through the rest of the week. As we're looking at those feels like temperatures going into this afternoon, going to be chasing the upper 90s and even that century mark, so looking like a good Tuesday to bring the extra water bottle along. And like I talked about, that's because of our moisture in the air. Dew points are up into the upper 70s right now, and looking at the Muggy meter going through the next few days, it's going to be feeling more like a sauna around the coastal bend as we're heading through the next few days, with those temperatures chasing the 90s and overnight lows only going to be going down into those upper 70s. Here's how it's looking on the 7-day forecast right now. 90 degrees today and tomorrow with plenty of sunshine, so maybe bringing the umbrella along for a little bit of shade to stay cooler into the afternoon. We hold on to some of that heat into the weekend as rain chances are on the rise Saturday and into Sunday. Even going into next week, we'll see those slight dip in temperatures thanks to the rain. 85 degrees by Monday.
Stephen, thank you. So President Trump continues to claim that the U.S. is just days away from a nuclear deal with Iran, but has yet to give any details about a possible agreement.
So to talk about this, Scripps News Group senior national correspondent Jay Gray joins us live this morning. Hey, good morning, Jay. So a lot of information out there, but what's the latest on peace talks in the Middle East?
Yeah, Michelle, Brian, good morning to you. And I think that depends a lot on who you ask in this situation. Look, calm but tense right now across the Middle East. We've been just past 24 hours now from those exchange of missile volleys between Israel and Iran. So understandably, there is a bit of an edge in that region right now. President Trump has urged both sides to really hold their fire as the U.S. continues those tense negotiations with Iran on a lasting peace deal. The White House does acknowledge multiple conversations between the president and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, where the president reportedly persuaded him to hold off on further strikes. That has held to this point on both sides. The president is saying that Washington and Tehran are just days now away from a breakthrough, as he calls it, in talks on a long-term deal. That is a claim the president, as we've talked about, has made for several weeks with no real specifics on what the framework may be, how this is going to play out. But he does continue to say, and said so last night, that they are just days away from this long-term deal. The U.S. conditions for an agreement have remained the same during these tense negotiations: disposal of Iran's highly enriched uranium, along with guarantees against pursuing nuclear weapons, and of course, opening up the Strait of Hormuz. Now, as those missiles were being fired over the weekend into early Monday morning, we did see a spike in oil prices. You know, they're already up dramatically with the closing of the strait. They spiked, they came back down a bit and leveled out. They are still nowhere near what the prices were before this war began. We're now in day 101. So guys, a lot to monitor here, a lot to watch. And the talks continue, we are told, but no, again, specifics on where they are at this point. We'll continue to watch it, but that's the latest right now from here in Washington.
All righty, Jay, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, definitely a pleasure speaking to you, sir. Thanks. Looking forward to talking again very soon. So a project generations have never seen finished has now entered its final chapter.
Coming up, the stunning milestone at a famous church in Spain.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
I'm Gita Strayer, and I'm here at Cole Park, where a Pride Month cleanup event is bringing two local organizations together for something bigger than just picking up trash.
Jay Alagata founded the Corpus Christi Cleanup Heroes after getting frustrated with littering in the city. What started as weekly cleanups has become something much more meaningful: community gatherings where strangers become friends.
When it's me in the background, I see people talking, chatting it up with each other, and it just makes me feel like, wow, we're really doing something here. People are meeting each other.
They've partnered with Queers for Community, creating a space for connection where LGBTQ plus residents often struggle to find acceptance.
Getting outside, talking to people, it really makes a difference, especially being around like-minded people who are fun to talk to.
The Cleanup Heroes meet every Monday at 5 p.m. at different locations across the city.
So the Sagrada Familia is now the world's tallest church, stands at 566 feet high and was completed this year after more than a century of construction. The iconic church attracts millions of visitors a year, including more than 700,000 Americans. As architect Mercutio Cortez says, he worked to bring Gaudi's life to vision.
Gaudí wanted the cross to resemble a crystal. The choice of material includes pyramids in ceramics and relief and pyramids in polished glass in a way that the cross can reflect the ambience, the atmosphere.
That looks awesome. Definitely going on my bucket list. Well, the monument is ready to be inaugurated by the Pope.
An art exhibit featuring millions of files related to Jeffrey Epstein will open today in Washington, D.C. It's run by a nonprofit group aimed at government transparency. The exhibit debuted in New York earlier this year and is being called the Donald J. Trump and Jeffrey Epstein Memorial Reading Room. It includes 3.5 million pages of documents and photographs released by the Justice Department in their Epstein investigation. So the Spurs took to the court with the New York Knicks in Game 3.
But it wasn't without some heavy security. The reaction from attendees over canceled events.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Spurs fans in San Antonio erupting in applause after their team took Game 3 of the NBA Finals, beating the New York Knicks in the Big Apple 115-111. It was the Knicks' first home game of the NBA Finals, a momentous homecoming as the Finals returned to Madison Square Garden for the first time since 1999. Security was more tense, though, after President Trump's appearance at the game. A Monday watch party planned for outside the Garden got scrubbed following arrest at a viewing party Friday.
Yeah, it's definitely caused a lot of disruption.
I understand they taking heavy precautions because he's the president, but I feel like as us Knicks fans, we need to enjoy this moment.
The Knicks and Spurs face off in New York again Wednesday for Game 4 of the Finals.
So it's Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals on Tuesday night. The Vegas Golden Knights have a two games to one lead over the Carolina Hurricanes. Again, that game is tonight. The first team to win 4 games will host the Cup. Tuesday night's game will be in Vegas before the series shifts back to California for Game 5. The puck drops at 7. The FIFA World Cup competition gets underway in just a few days in the United States. A number of different cities across the country are hosting the men's matches, and in 6 of those host cities, billboards are going up to promote safe sex. The billboards are encouraging condom use in several cities, including Houston. The AIDS Healthcare Foundation is offering free condoms for anyone who needs them.
The Coastal Bend Food Bank is ready to feed more families.
After the break, too, when you can pick up supplies from a mobile distribution event and what you need to know before you go. Coming up on this half hour of Chris 6 Sunrise, 2 organizations cleaning up the community. How their weekly gatherings are bringing in some pride to the Coastal Bend.
Plus, it's a celebration that connects Filipino communities around the world. Coming up, how the Coastal Bend is marking Filipino Independence Day.
And a little later, travelers are staying closer to home this summer. The top 3 reasons for more domestic travel over international trips.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Michelle Hoffman.
And I'm Brian Hoffman. We got to get you out the door on the right foot this morning, making sure If you need your jacket, your umbrella, or, just maybe a short sleeve Hawaiian shirt, my vote is always the short sleeve Hawaiian shirt, though.
That is a good pick, I gotta say. And going into the rest of the week, I think it's gonna look perfect for the Hawaiian shirt as we're heading out there. The heat and humidity is making its return. The rain chances, they are dialing back until the weekend. By the time we're heading towards the weekend, that's where we'll start to see those rain chances back on the rise. So something to keep in mind if you're already making those weekend plans. For our Tuesday morning, here's the radar view over the past few hours. It's been fairly muggy out there, but luckily only dealing with this light drizzly activity so far for our Tuesday morning. On the sky cams out there, you can see just the decent amount of cloud cover, and that's helping us stay in the upper 70s and lower 80s. 80 on the money here in Corpus Christi, the Naval Air Station reading 81 degrees. 78 out there in Alice with the cool spot Beeville coming in at 77 so far this morning. So don't think any of us need the jacket to start off our Tuesday morning, and definitely not into Tuesday afternoon. 88 degrees by 1 p.m. with plenty of sunshine on the board. I'm calling about 90 on the money here in Corpus Christi, at least by the International Airport for our daytime high, with winds out of the southeast. That's around 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts upwards of 20 miles an hour. And likely to push those lower 90s for our inland neighborhoods and even the 80s towards our coastal neighborhoods, but all of us feeling like those upper 90s thanks to the humidity this afternoon. So it's going to be a toasty Tuesday, but of course, let's get you ready for your Tuesday morning. As you're getting ready for that morning commute to work, so far so good on the traffic flow map. We haven't been tracking any of those major slowdowns, at least just the yellows on the board. So far on the Harbor Bridge, if you're making that commute to or from Portland, looking good and green, and that's the same for our Robstown and Cal Island commuters. Both 37 and 44 coming in the clear this morning. Just some slowdowns there on 37 to the north of Cal Island, but luckily it's only the yellows right now. Here for our major thoroughfares in Corpus Christi, Ocean Drive, SPID, and Saratoga are all coming in the clear, which means one more detour inland. Good morning to neighbors out there in Kingsville. So far so good also. So a good and green Tuesday morning across the board for our traffic flow map. Of course, we do have those rain chances on the rise this weekend like we mentioned. We'll chat a little bit more about that coming up in our full 7-day forecast.
I first told you about the owner of Smack Eats, Kat Hunter, when she did a free Thanksgiving plate drive. Well, now, after her Facebook post went viral, she told customers that she's forced to close her restaurant. I'm Jada Jenkins on the West Side with why she says this is just the beginning of a new chapter. Now, after an accident forced her to close her current location, she took to Facebook Live to share the news.
And I don't really know what to do, so we're gonna do everything free with the hopes that you guys donate.
That video has since generated more than 74,000 interactions on Facebook, with customers offering support, donations, and words of encouragement. Hunter says she'll keep serving customers through the end of the month before transitioning to delivery, pickup, and pop-up events while she prepares for a new location.
A powerful earthquake has devastated parts of the Philippines, killing dozens and leaving thousands displaced. Now, members of the local Filipino community are watching closely and looking for any ways that they could help. At least 32 people are dead after a series of major earthquakes struck the southern part of the Philippines. The strongest quake, in magnitude 7.8 off the Richter scale, hits off of the coast of one of the islands on Monday. More than 100 people were injured across several provinces. Nearly 24 remain missing, and about 10,000 residents were forced to evacuate their homes.
Here in your neighborhood, the Coastal Bend Filipino Association tells me it's considering ways to support relief efforts for those impacted. At the same time, the organization is preparing to celebrate Filipino Independence Day, honoring the Philippines' independence from Spain in 1898. Thursday, members of the Coastal Bend Filipino American Association will showcase traditional Filipino dances at the Galvan House in Heritage Park. The performance runs from 6 to 8 p.m. and highlights the culture, history, and pride of the Filipino community. And we spoke with Lel Arandela of the Coastal Bend Filipino Association, who says the event is made possible by dedicated volunteers who balance rehearsals with demanding careers.
Most of our workers, Filipinos here, are medical professionals, okay? I mean, these people, no matter how busy they are, they can still get time out of their busy work and join us to practice in the rehearsal, and and as a culture, we're very proud.
And folks, you might recall we told you about Saturday's Filipino Independence Day celebration, but Arandela says it's already reached capacity. There is still another opportunity for the community to take part. The Texas State Museum of Asian Cultures will host a Filipino fiesta from noon until 5 p.m. The event features traditional music, cultural games, Filipino food, and giveaways. Now you can pick up free food for your family this morning. The Coastal Bend Food Bank is hosting a mobile distribution event at 5442 Bear Lane. Workers will hand out food from 7 a.m. until 9:30 a.m. The event will end early if supplies run out. And if this is your first time attending, you had to pre-register by phone. Returning neighbors do not need to register ahead of time, and anyone picking up food for someone else must bring an ID. Is the economy fitting your vibe?
Time for a vibe check, right? Well, more consumers are users than getting hit with more credit card debt. How just living off the vibe may be doing more harm than good.
Right now on Chris 6 Sunrise, the plan for a level 1 water emergency remains under scrutiny. Why family apartment complexes may have less water to work with on a monthly basis.
Plus, the Corpus Christi City Council meeting on pause for the next couple weeks, when state officials are actually expected to meet again to discuss the water situation.
And travelers are staying closer to home this summer. The top 3 reasons for more domestic travel over international trips.
Now, 20 minutes of nonstop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
Hey everyone, I'm Drew Bishop, and if you're one of the thousands of people like me who live in apartment buildings in Corpus Christi, you could be looking at less water than the average homeowner in a level 1 water emergency. In the proposed plan for level 1 water emergency, apartment buildings would be treated like any other commercial business. So I met with Cliff Caldwell, who runs 4 apartment complexes, to find out how apartment living differs from single-family homes.
Most properties in Corpus just have 1 meter per property, so all the residents are sharing the cost of what flows through that 1 meter.
That means those residents would also share the cost for any surcharges triggered by overusing water. Unlike individual homes, apartment renters don't use water for irrigation, washing vehicles, or other discretionary use. Caldwell says that adds another obstacle for his tenants.
They're literally being asked not to use water for a week out of the month at a 25% cutback.
Well, Corpus Christi City Council is not planning on meeting today.
At this time, City Council expected to meet next, get this, June 23rd. It's still 2 weeks away. This comes following the delay of the Inner Harbor desal vote, which will happen now in September.
I'm Stephanie Molina in Sinton, where the San Patricio Groundwater Conservation District met Monday afternoon. Board directors considered new well drilling applications and discussed emergency request permits for the Evangeline Groundwater Project, a topic that drew many comments from community members.
Residents from across San Patricio County packed the Groundwater Conservation District meeting, taking to the public comment to make their voices heard on the Evangeline Groundwater Project. With the agenda item failing, the district cannot process the emergency permit applications. Corpus Christi City Manager Peter Zanoni says this was their first route to move forward with the project. Now this leaves them with only 2 options.
Others include talking to the city of Sinton still. We haven't ruled that out. And then the third route is the contested case hearing, which the sellers of the water rights are prepared to go through.
As for the Welder Gully drilling and operating permit application and the Steel Dynamics drilling permit application, both will move to a preliminary hearing after protests were filed. Meanwhile, the Occidental Chemical SPMWD test well drilling permit application was approved.
Well, howdy and happy Tuesday there, Coastal Bend. Looking at our latest lake levels update, rising for most of them out there. Lake Corpus Christi up to 28.1% this morning. Choke Canyon down to 8.2% from that 8.3% mark a week ago. Combined reservoir capacity up to 13.8%, and Lake Texana also sitting at 99.9%. Hopefully we continue to see this trend continue as we go through the rest of our astronomical spring and into summer. For our Tuesday morning, here's a view from our Sunset Island cam courtesy of Matthews CCAC. 81 degrees here by the Laguna Madre and feeling that heat and humidity across the entire coastal bend this morning as we're waking up out there. 80 degrees on the money down there in Falfurrias, and that's the same here in Corpus Christi. 82 is our warm spot from Rockport into Port Aransas this morning, and then those 70s as you work your way inland. 78 for both Beeville and San Diego so far this morning. For our dog walking forecast, today we've got Stella Patterson on the board from Aransas County and says her favorite place to take a walk is over there along the beach. Seems like she's having a pretty nice Tuesday morning after the Spurs win last night now. As we're heading out there, not going to be too bad either. 85 by 10 a.m. with a little bit more cloud cover, but more of that sunshine coming out into the afternoon. 88 degrees on the board as we're heading out for that lunchtime hour, and winds out of the southeast today around 10 to 15 miles an hour. Keep in mind a little breezy into the afternoon though. Those peak gusts are going to be chasing about 20 to 25 miles an hour, so not overly windy for what we're used to here in the coastal bend, but still going to notice that breeze, I think, as you're heading into the afternoon. Here's how the future tracker's playing out. As we're heading into the later morning hours, we get that sea breeze to develop and could see a stray shower or two, but the by far majority of us are going to be staying dry today. As we're heading into our Tuesday afternoon, back to the 90s for our inland neighborhoods, all of us going to be feeling like those mid to upper 90s thanks to the humidity in our atmosphere, though. Going into tonight with all of that moisture, the cloud cover makes its return, and we're waking up to the 70s and 80s once again before we do it all again into tomorrow. That light chance for a stray shower or two, but once again, the heat and humidity is going to be the bigger story as we're heading through this week. In terms of those feels like temperatures this afternoon, going to be chasing the upper 90s, if not those lower triple digits as we're heading out there, so not looking like too bad of an idea to take that extra water bottle along and maybe even through the rest of the week. Looking at the Muggy meter, we're going to be holding on to this humidity pretty well. We have those winds out of the southeast from today through the weekend, so plenty of moisture going to be around all week. The rain chances not so much until we finally start to head into Saturday and Sunday. That's where more upper level systems start to work back into the area, but it's going to be very dependent on positioning and timing of both of them. Here's how the 7-day forecast plays out. The work week looking warm and humid, 90 degrees for the daytime high. Those showers start to show up by Saturday and become a little bit more prominent into Sunday and Monday with a slight dip in temperatures. 85 degrees to kick off next week.
Stephen, thank you so much. An alligator is now back in its normal habitat after being enclosed in a horse pen. The nearly 8-foot-long gator was captured in Beaumont. All the horses are okay, too. Representatives say the rainy weather is to blame for the rapid movement of these gators.
A new study shows that meditating can shift your brain waves. The study monitored the brain activity of 103 adults using a tool to measure electrical patterns in the brain through sensors placed on the scalp. Participants' brains showed that they moved into a calmer, more attentive state within just a few minutes of meditation. New research shows late night snacking could harm your gut bacteria. A new observational study looked at more than 15,000 people who eat after 9 p.m. and found that they are up to 2.5 times more likely to suffer diarrhea or constipation if they are under psychological stress, like with high blood pressure, cholesterol, or obesity.
With summer underway, there are steps you should take to protect your skin. Dermatologists say skin conditions could flare, so it's important to wash off any sweat before it dries. Experts say people tend to over-exfoliate. Using a light moisturizer can also help this problem. Inflammation of hair follicles could lead to a rash, and melasma can cause dark, discolored facial patches.
Protecting yourself with strong SPFs, even higher than what we'd normally recommend, such as SPF 50, is really useful for people that are on birth control pills or might be pregnant during the summer.
There's also heat rash. It's the body's alarm system that a person's overheating. Measles cases are on track to be the worst since the disease was eliminated in the U.S. nearly 30 years ago. The CDC reported more than 2,000 cases across 28 states. The CDC says 92% of the cases were found in unvaccinated people. 72% were found in children 19 and younger. Experts say there's been an ongoing decline in vaccinations.
So there are concerns of economic losses as more screwworm cases appear in Texas. There are 4 total confirmed cases. The latest cases involve a calf in LaSalle County and a dog in Andrews County. New World screwworm larvae burrow into the tissue of animals and can cause severe wounds and suffering.
Check your animals daily. Check for any wounds, even small wounds like tick bites on navels or newborns or other openings. Treat wounds promptly and work to reduce fly populations around your operations.
Governor Abbott adds that the report any suspicion of screwworm wounds to the Texas Animal Health Commission. But now there are concerns beef prices may soon increase.
I don't even want to think about it, to be honest with you.
There's a new threat to Texas barbecue, and it's attacking the source, cattle.
And we're asking a lot of questions right now. We're going to be as proactive as we can.
The USDA confirms 5 cases of New World screwworm, 4 of them in Texas, and the state is working to contain the outbreak before it spreads.
We have been tracking this pest for a long time, and we have fought before, and we will do so again.
The USDA's reports show beef prices are up 13% between April of this year and April of last year. But barbecue lovers in the barbecue capital of Texas are already thinking about the impact this could have on their wallet.
What are your worries about with the beef prices going up as a result of this?
Well, I'm worried about other people, and basically I'm concerned about it. We only live by check by check.
Chisholm Trail barbecue owner Mike Capello says if the outbreak grows, so will his prices on his menu.
If we get hit with higher costs, then it's more than likely we're going to pass it on to the consumer. I'm more likely to see what the other guys do and then strategically then decide whether I bite the bullet.
3 factors are at play for U.S. travelers staying closer to home this summer. Travel experts say 63% are staying closer to home because of the hype around the FIFA World Cup, America 250 celebrations, and high travel costs. Compared to last year, travel site Kayak shows round-trip tickets are up more than 45%. Some airlines have announced they're cutting routes this summer to save on jet fuel costs.
Fewer routes means fewer option, means higher prices, and it's just kind of a vicious circle.
If you're looking to get away and save, flights to Key West, Florida, the Bahamas, and Mexico City are down, according to Kayak. But keep in mind, we are in hurricane season until November.
So Americans are swiping their credit cards and living large, even though inflation, high rates, interest rates, and record debt all looms. Some experts say that the vibe economy is just feeling good, spending more and piling on that debt despite the warning signs. Credit card balances have surged to about $1.2 trillion. It could hit $2 trillion by the decade's end. While social media and a booming stock market are fueling those good vibes, Vorkin says that they mask a fragile reality.
The first signs of a bad situation with regards to the economy, it all disappears. And that is the problem. And it turns into vapor. And all of a sudden, everybody's running for the hills.
Economics professor Abby Hall says optimism can keep spending and the economy afloat, but only if it's backed by real strength.
If the vibes aren't backed up by actual economic realities, what happens on the back end? And of course, in that case, people might be feeling really good now, but the vibe might be decidedly different after the economic data confronts us with reality.
Yeah, vibes can't pay rent, folks. She warns that taking money out of your savings or 401k or leaning on credit cards a bit too heavy to maintain your lifestyle can only last so long. Both agree the next economic downturn might have several triggers, from high consumer debt to global shocks.
I'm Gita Strayer, and I'm here at Cole Park, where a Pride Month cleanup event is bringing 2 local organizations together for something bigger than just picking up trash. What started as a simple idea has turned into weekly community gatherings that allow people to come out and connect. Jay Alagata founded the Corpus Christi Cleanup Heroes after getting frustrated with littering.
When it's me in the background, I see people talking, chatting it up with each other, and it just makes me feel like, wow, we're really doing something here.
The weekly gatherings have grown beyond what Alagata ever imagined.
I thought that it would just be me and my dad, maybe my boyfriend, just cleaning up random areas, but when we started doing it and started doing it even more, and it became a whole consistent thing, I started seeing like the progress. I've started seeing people follow and saying this is such a good idea.
The Cleanup Heroes meet every Monday at 5 p.m. at different locations across the city. This Monday, they partnered with Queers for Community for a special Pride Month collaboration.
Sometimes people just need to feel like they're making an impact while making friends.
We really want a place where we can form community and maintain it while doing things that we're all passionate about.
For both groups, it's about more than just cleaning up. It's about building community.
Getting outside, talking to people, it really makes a difference, especially being around like-minded people who are fun to talk to.
Organizers from both groups remind people to pick up trash wherever they go. And if you want to do more, the Corpus Christi Cleanup Heroes are out cleaning a different location every Monday. Reporting from Cole Park, I'm Jada Strayer, Chris 6 News.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
The Corpus Christi City Council is placing their meeting on hold for a couple of weeks. At this time, their next meeting is scheduled for June 23rd.
Well, the San Patricio County Groundwater Conservation District is considering new well drilling applications. A drilling permit application was approved during council on Monday.
Tuesday night, the Corpus Christi ISD Board of Trustees have named their new vice president. Eric Villarreal is filling the vacant spot. Vacant spots are typically filled in November.
So the Packery Channel Nature Park expanding. They're getting 5 shade pavilions, 6 information kiosks. This is expected to help improve the experience visitors enjoy every day.
The Coastal Bend Food Bank is handing out food this morning with a mobile distribution event. It's expected to continue until 9:30 this morning. If someone is picking up food for you, they must bring an ID.
And high school students getting a hands-on experience in the medical field. They're practicing the high-tech patient simulators too. This is the second year for the summer camp. Well, it is time for one last check-in on the weather and the roadways, of course. Meteorologist Stephen Jones.
Well, good Tuesday morning, you guys. You know, we're not seeing too much of that rain on the radar, luckily, this morning, meaning the roadway's shaping up nice and clear so far. On the traffic flow map, I've only been seeing those yellows so far, and as we go through the rest of the day, we're going to be holding on to plenty of heat and humidity. As you can see on the SPID Skycam, a few more cars picking up on the roadway, but luckily still feeling nice and warm out there at 79 degrees. The current traffic flow map showing you no issues if you're hitting the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland. That's going to be the same for our Robstown and Cal Island commuters, both 37 and 44 coming in the clear, although keep in mind just to the north of Cal Island, some of that construction definitely slowing things down. Here in town, not looking too bad for Ocean Drive, SPID, or Saratoga this morning, so a good and green flow across the board as we're starting off our Tuesday. Of course, let's get you that forecast as we're heading through the rest of the day, and with those rain chances on the rise as we're heading into the weekend. So far, starting off our day with a good deck of cloud cover, 79 here in Corpus Christi, but across the entire coastal bend, definitely feeling the heat and humidity out there. 82 in Port Aransas right now, 81 over at the Naval Air Station. As we go through the rest of the day, we're going to see that sunshine come out into the afternoon. I'm calling 90 degrees here in Corpus Christi for the daytime high, with winds out of the southeast 10 to 15 miles an hour. And as you work your way inland, even more likely to chase those lower 90s for your daytime high. Keep in mind, you're going to be feeling more like those upper 90s when you take into account the heat and humidity. On the 7-day forecast right now, still holding on to that heat and humidity through the rest of the work week, 91 degrees by Thursday. As we're heading into the weekend, is where things start to change. Saturday starts to see a few more showers and storms showing up. Then it starts to become a little bit more prominent into Sunday and Monday, leading to a slight dip in temperatures, 89 from Sunday down to 85 degrees as we're kicking off next week.
So new research is revealing surprising new details about a 5,300-year-old mummy. Microbes inside Otzi, the Iceman, have stayed viable for thousands of years now. Some could still be multiplying.
Otzi's remains were discovered by hikers in 1991 along the Austrian-Italian border, where glacial ice and freezing temperatures preserved him. Research published in last week's journal, Microbiome, revealed trillions of microbes populated his body before his death and lingered long after, giving scientists a look at what the human gut looked like in the Copper Age. This new research could also pave the way for new methods of storing and handling mummies.
That is impressive. I hope I look that good at his age.
We'll see. I don't know if I don't know what I want by that age. You know, those are some strong microbes either way to survive this.
They are. It's impressive.
Yeah, no, definitely. What do you think, Michelle?
I would like to be cremated. That's all. I don't want anyone to see me at that point.
Now, do you want your ashes spread anywhere or just like in a box?
No, I want to be made into a diamond.
Oh, we already had this conversation too. I remember.
Okay.
Yep, definitely a diamond. because she already is one right now. Thanks for tuning in, folks, and we'll be back at noon with even more news from your neighborhood. Have a great day.